Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com. You know, those José Serebrier boxes of the complete Dvořák and Glazunov symphonies and Warner are still around. They popped up, then they disappeared, then they got reissued again, and I don't know, but now they're available. So I really think we should cover them. And we're going to start with Dvořák, complete symphonies and other orchestral biddies. You get the legends, the Slavonic dances, and let's see, In Nature's Realm, the Scherzo Capriccioso, and the Czech suite. Now, the best things in here, I have no doubt about it, are the Czech suite and the legends, which are very, very nice performances. They really are. They're lovely. Serebrier is a wonderful conductor. He's extremely talented. He rarely makes a poor record. He really doesn't. And he's also a very gifted composer, and he's been around forever, and he deserves a lot more attention than he gets. This is not one of his stronger efforts. I hate to say it. I hate to say it because I really like the guy. I really do. I think he's very, very talented. He promotes unusual and interesting repertoire. And he did that wonderful Naxos series of Stokowski transcriptions. I mean, there's like all kinds of good stuff. And my very first encounter with him, well, there were two. One was the Ives Fourth Symphony, the separate recording he made, because he was one of the associate conductors on the Stokowski recording, that legendary recording. And his was quite different and very good, but much faster. And the other one was Dvořák's Eighth Symphony, which he recorded with the Sydney Symphony on RCA. And it was a very lively and exciting performance. Supposedly, at the time, I recall, it mentioned that he was using George Sell's parts, or George Sell's conception, or something to do with Sell. But in any case, it was a very good Dvořák Eighth. And so I had hopes when he was doing the complete Dvořáks that they would be very good. I'm more inclined to put blame for this somewhat failure. It's not terrible. It's just meh. And I think part of the problem is the Bournemouth Symphony. I mean, the Bournemouth Symphony is a very, very fine orchestra, but in this music, you need to have a sort of idiomatic sense of color, of timbre. Peszek made recordings of Dvořák with the Royal Liverpool Philharmonic, and they were splendid. So I'm not quite sure what went wrong here, but there isn't enough rhythmic snap in the strings, especially in those early symphonies, where you've got to have a lot of tension in the playing, because Dvořák could be a little bit discursive. So, in the Fifth and Sixth Symphonies or the Third, they're masterpieces. They really are. But they need to just have a higher energy level than we get here. And the tough ones, like 1 and 2 and 4, they just don't... He just doesn't put them over compellingly. The Slavonic dances are also really lousy. I mean, those are the worst things on the album. They're just dead. And so's the Scherzo Capriccioso. That I don't understand at all. I mean, it's absolutely stillborn. And I can't figure it out, coming from Serebrier, who could always be counted upon he can always be counted upon to have rhythm, usually. And the sense of a pulse, everybody was just a little off. That's the problem with this cycle. Now, there are other cycles that are, I think, worse. There's Bělohlavek with a Czech fill, which is a total snooze fest. I mean, this isn't really boring, except for the Scherzo Capriccioso and the Slavonic dances. I mean, there was that absolutely, the Andrew Davis one that was also a total non-happening. Remember that one on Sony? So there have been Dvořák symphony cycles, which are, not worth paying much attention to. But we know what the best ones are, don't we? I mean, the best ones are Rovitsky, probably first and foremost on Philips, now Decca. And then there's Kertész, and there's Kubelik. And there's also the sleeper one is Ottmar Sweetener on Berlin Classics, who's pretty splendid all the way through, with an orchestra that plays the music, that sounds right in the music. That is, you have really characterful woodwind playing and balances that favor the winds and brass that have a tang to them and strings that have the right sort of wiry sonority with a good sense of rhythm. All of that's just lacking here. I mean, the Bournemouth Symphony can do this. I have no doubt whatsoever they can do it. But here they don't have the character or the flair. And again, I don't understand exactly why that's the case, because Serebrier certainly knows what he's doing in this music, or what he wants to do. But for whatever reason, it just didn't happen. So, I mean, this is very cheap. It's like 24, 26 bucks or something for 7 CDs. It's a great deal. The sound is very good, but you could just do much better in complete sets of Dvořák symphonies and other stuff. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.